Going on my fantasy basketball fans out there? It's Waiver Wire Queen, and welcome to the Score Fantasy Basketball Podcast. I'm going to give you 5 sleeper centers who should help fill out your roster. These guys are deep, late sleepers in deep leagues, and you should consider these guys to help you throughout the season. So these are great options for your bench. Robert Williams, center with the Boston Celtics. I don't care if Al Horford is back on the team. Robert Williams has talent. He showed glimpses and flashes of his talent throughout last year and early on in the postseason before he, ultimately got hurt. He averaged 8 and 6 last year for the Celtics. I want to see him elevate to a double-double, 10 and 10. I mean, he's capable of doing that. The biggest thing with him has been health, and I always say health is wealth. Availability is important. So if he's available, he's going to play, and they got to increase those minutes. Let the young guy play. I understand they're a playoff team, but Robert Williams is definitely talented. When you are building your team in the draft, you have to consider players that you want on your bench who should be able to help you on nights where your players are off, COVID protocol, injuries, load management, which we all love, right? We love load management, right? No, we here on a load management. However, it's a thing, it's real, and you may have to consider him on a night when one of your top dogs, they're unable to go because of load management or whatever else may happen. You always got to prepare for the unexpected in fantasy basketball, and Robert Williams should not be ignored, okay? All right, who else? Mitchell Robinson, center with the New York Knicks. I want to see him start this year, okay? I want to see him start and be consistent and stay healthy. That has been a big issue for him. Health is wealth. Availability is a must. He averaged 8 points, 8 rebounds. I want to see him average a double-double as the starting center for the New York Knicks. I want to see him push that to 10 and 12, 10 and 13. He's going to shoot a high field goal percentage and block some shots. He has talent. He's always had the talent, but again, the injuries have been the issue. So if he can stay healthy, look for him to take the next step and at least be a double-double guy and see his minutes increase, and you'll see the consistency from him. He's definitely someone I will look at in later rounds to add to my bench, okay? And you should too. All right, Moses Brown, center with the Mavs. He was on the Thunder last year. He had a solid season. He averaged 8 points and 8 rebounds last year. He's definitely talented. I want to see him be the starter for the Mavs, and having a top 5 player like a Luka, who's a triple-double machine, who's going to average about 10 assists on most nights. He's going to elevate Brown to the next level, make him a better player. So having a point guard who's going to make everyone around him a better players, Brown is definitely a player to consider in later rounds of your fantasy basketball draft. Important thing, that bench. Your bench may well win you your league. Last season, my bench saved me on several nights because you just didn't know what to expect with COVID protocol, load management, and injuries. You've seen players who you never thought would be injured. You've seen so many injuries, and you have to prepare for these things, and you don't want to prepare for them after the draft. You need to be thinking about every possible thing that can happen and that can go wrong in the season, because you just don't expect everything to go right. It does not happen in fantasy basketball. So you have to think about certain type of players you can target late to fill out your roster. You don't want to get into the draft and not know who the hell some of these guys are late in your draft, because they're going to be on the board, and you don't want to be like, rushing at the last minute. Like, who is Brown? Okay, Brown, he is going to see some good solid minutes with Dallas. He really should. So he's someone to look at later in your draft. Okay. Vinnichulus Valenchewlist. I always mess up his name. Yes. 17 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist last year. You can expect to see more of that this year. I mean, he got traded to the Pelicans. He's going to be playing with Zion, so I can see Zion tossing the alley-oop to him. Rarely, but I can see him tossing the alley-oop to Zion. He's always been consistent. Valenchewlist has always been consistent. He's going to shoot a nice percentage from the field. He's going to get you points and rebounds. Why is he always like an afterthought in drafts? 17 and 12 consistently is really good from a center. Center is not that deep in fantasy basketball, in my opinion. So a player like him, you know, you can check for. I drafted him in a really nice spot in a league last year. And he played really well for me. Like, people were just looking over him, but I don't look over 17 and 12, okay? And you shouldn't either, okay? So don't do it, all right? James Wiseman, he averaged 11 points, 5 rebounds for the Golden State Warriors last year. The biggest thing is him coming back and being healthy. And hell, how are the Warriors going to utilize him? Are they going to move on from him and trade him for another asset so the kid can play? He's a really talented big, but just to me, it's not a great fit for the Golden State Warriors. But hell, if they utilize him right, he's going to score the ball and he's going to rebound the ball. He can shoot. Hell, he may be able to block some shots too and play a little defense out there. But he averaged 11 and 5 with limited minutes and a limited role. With a more consistent role, I can see that going to 13, and he should be a 10 rebound dude. Like, he's a center. He's tall. He's talented, athletic. He should be averaging 10 rebounds. But when you're not playing a lot, it's hard. I want to see him average a double-double on the season if the Golden State Warriors will do the right thing and utilize him. Come on now. What y'all think about James Wiseman? That's right. Yes. All right, y'all. Hit that like button and subscribe to the Score Fantasy Basketball Podcast for more. Peace.